Welcome back. He plays drums in one of the world's biggest rock bands. But Aerosmith's drummer Joey Kramer also found that the rock star lifestyle can take a serious toll. He tells the story of the wild times and hard times in his new book. This is it. Joey Kramer Hit Hard, a story of hitting rock bottom at the top. It is the autobiography, and he is live with us in the studio. Joey, good to see you. Thanks so much for being here.
Hi, Chris.
Okay, let's start with the inspiration behind this. Why write the book?
Well, I wrote the book because there was a lot of pressing issues that I had that I thought could help. That if I wrote the book, I could help other people. Basically, it's about the fact that you don't have to be a rock and roll star to crash and burn. And you know what's in there is depression, anxiety, drug addiction, alcoholism, and rock and roll.
And rock and roll. The foreword by Nikki Sixx gets the book off to a good start, at least when I was reading it, and talks about stop fighting the past and live in the present. And he says, you know, in talking to you, that this is the kind of book that you're right. If you're not even a rock and roll star, which so few of us are, except for in our own minds, that this can help everybody. This is a book that people can read and identify with.
Yeah, if it, you know, if the 4 years that I took to write the book, if it helps one or two people, then my goal is accomplished.
Yeah. It also talks about being clear and awareness and how that helps in living in the present. Tell us about the path that took you to that point.
Well, you know, in 1995, I had a pretty bad nervous breakdown. That was due in part to the passing of my dad. And I learned a lot. I got an education about myself. But unfortunately, I had to take medication. And there's a big fallacy around that in particular. You know, people think that, you know, there's something wrong with you if you have to take medication, and you know, but it helps. And you know, if you have a cold, you take medication. If you have a headache, you take medication. And that's what helped me out the most, as well as a lot of the folks that were around me at the time.
The book talks a lot about and kind of takes you on the journey of as a child growing up, and your dad was tough. It was hard, and there was kind of a reconciliation coming full circle with your relationship with your dad.
Well, you know, through the whole book runs a thread of what I think is a very time-sensitive subject for everyone today, and that is the confusion between love and abuse. And with my dad, I had an abusive childhood with him, and even though he was my hero, he he loved me with abuse, and thus the confusion that I had. So later on in life, relationships that I had and conjured up with other people that abused me, I interpreted as them loving me.
Right.
You know, because that was the confusion I had as a kid.
Your father passed from Parkinson's, and the book talks about kind of reconciling in that moment where you get down and he's in the chair, and how important was that to get to where you are now?
That was very important, because it was acceptance of, you know, what is and what was. And it was me giving myself permission to forgive him and accept what it was that he was when I was a kid, and realize that he was just doing the best with what he had, with the tools that he had.
Yeah, and this book talks about codependency with relationships, and a real poignant letter written to your dad as well that is a great read. Let's talk rock and roll for a second.
Okay.
I asked you when you first came in, is it as exhilarating to play in front of 80,000 people and screaming fans with sitting on the drum riser? It's the question everybody wants.
Oh Lord,
to ask.
there is nothing.
Give us an insight.
There is nothing more exhilarating than sitting, for me, sitting in my seat. Because in my opinion, I have the best seat in the house.
Sure.
And you know, when anywhere from 30 to 50,000 or however many it is, people are responding to what it is that you're doing, especially when I do a solo, which my wife talked me into doing. I can't even describe what that's like. It's if I ever had to leave that behind, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, everybody in America, everybody watching knows Aerosmith, and we see Steven Tyler everywhere now, and your relationship with him now and the bandmates is what?
Everything's great.
It is.
Everything's good.
Yeah. He talks about in his book that had come out, and again, it has kind of re-up the interest as well with this book, and he talks about drug use in the band and being a recovering addict. Is it tough to go back? Is it tough to be in that situation again now, or is it everybody is in the right spot?
Pretty much everyone is in the right spot, but I really enjoy my recovery because there are so many things that it's shown me and taught me, and without it, without my program, yeah. I don't think that I would be here. Yeah. I honestly believe that.
Let me ask you this, 2 final questions. As a kid, and we read about you growing up as a kid with your family and siblings and stuff, did you ever think, well, so many years later, I'm going to be sitting doing an interview as one of the biggest drummers in the biggest rock and roll band of all time?
No, I never really thought about that. Yeah. You know, when I was a kid and I had a dream. And all I knew was, there's really no reason why I can't make this dream come true. Because I was a kid. I was 14. I was very young when I decided what it is that I wanted to do. Yeah. And everyone said to me, oh, yeah, okay, Joey, yeah. Sure, fine. And, you know, and I just went for it.
Well, there are publicists and rules and things we can't mention specifically, but we're going to see Aerosmith together again.
Absolutely.
In the near future, aren't we?
Absolutely.
And hopefully we'll see them here in Central Texas.
Absolutely.
Bring them all here now.
Yeah, I'm going to try and get my guys to come to Austin because we're due.
Yeah, we're due. And I think we'd love to see it.
We're
Joey Kramer, Hit Hard, the story of hitting rock bottom at the top. This is the book. You can get it everywhere at Amazon.com and everywhere else. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Chris.